Hi, I'm Kerry Cunningham, and welcome to Lies My Marketing Experience Told Me. This is a video series where B2B go-to-market luminaries tell us about things that they used to think are true, but which they know are not true anymore. Those of us who've been around for a while, we have a lot of those things. So if you're an industry veteran, you're probably going to recognize yourself in this. Now, we're doing this series because all of us who've been around for a while have those kinds of things that we used to think are true, but we know clearly are not anymore. So if you're not an industry veteran, then you're really in luck, because this series is going to help save you a lot of time and anguish in understanding what is and isn't true about B2B go-to-market. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome one of my very favorite people in B2B, somebody I've known for a couple of decades, Kathy Macchi. And Kathy Macchi is a principal, one of the founders of an agency called Inverta, one of the wisest, most knowledgeable people in B2B, and also probably the nicest person in B2B. So I hope you enjoy the episode. All right. I am with Kathy Macchi. Kathy, thanks for joining us on Lies My Marketing Experience Told Me. I'm very excited for this one. Please say hello and introduce yourself.
Well, hello. I'm like a trained monkey. Hello, my name is Kathy Macchi. I am co-founder and head of innovation at Inverta.
Awesome. All right. Well, I've been looking forward to this for a while. So tell me, what is that lie, that thing that you used to believe was true, but you know is no longer true?
That marketing attribution metrics are accurate.
Oh,
I know. How did I ever believe that? I think it was only for a fleeting moment. I think you believed it longer than me.
Yeah, probably.
Like Santa Claus.
I was always trailing a little behind you, for sure. At least a little behind you, for sure. But a lot of people still do believe it, right? So,
yes.
I think many people have come to understand that they may not be accurate, but many people still don't have that understanding. So, what's your journey through attribution land and out of it?
Well, I think it's interesting because I put this all in this attribution, there's reporting, there's analytics, and they're all in this continuum. So when someone talks to you about attribution, you really like, what box are they in? Because the two questions they get asked is, what channels are working best? What is marketing contributing?
Right.
And so you go through these things where you're trying to figure out what are all those things. And with B2B market, you never have all the data points. And the first thing you learn is, the first time I had to do an attribution model, is everyone immediately games the system. Because it's not attribution, like you're putting weights. You're either deciding first touch, last touch, multi-touch, but you're deciding what weights they are. So as everyone figures it out, everyone games the system. Because it's all about, there's a line, a colleague of mine, marketers report not to improve their marketing, but you just do it to prove. Like, it's only there in hindsight. Like, I don't know anyone that uses it to say, oh, well, I'm going to make adjustments up here. It's just to be able to prove that you have value in the company. Like, we are contributing something. So.
Right. So, and to clarify, in your roles over the last many years in B2B, I've known you for 20 something years, I think it is.
Yeah.
You've probably seen, like, now, many hundreds of these things in that many different companies. Have you ever seen any that weren't just complete bullshit, or, are there?
I have not. In fact, when people ask for them now, I try to talk them out of it. I do. I'll say, and I'm not one for turning away projects. Let me tell you, in general, sure, we can do that. But I'll just say, you probably don't want this. Here are other things to think about. And then we go through the project, and at the end, almost everyone says, yeah, we didn't need it. But we do try to get some stuff around it. Like, are you looking at, mostly it's an agreement around, what they turn into is just gaining agreement from everyone about how you do want to measure marketing. That's what they turn into. And you have to think about, do you want to do it at the lead level? Don't get started, or the account level. What do you want to count as a response? That someone's done something, And then the biggest one we've changed is, it would always be, do you want to look back 90 days? Do you want to look back a year? What we look at now is from when people's like whenever the opportunity is or the win, you just keep going back until, and this is the only thing you have to decide is, till there's no engagement with that account. Whether you just keep, so if it goes back 5 years, I don't care. Like it has taken that long until you see a gap of 30, 60, like you decide, and then say, okay, then the clock starts again.
Yeah.
Like,
well, like that little piece of wisdom, I think, is like worth whatever we're doing here, because that's what it is. I mean, buyers are in market a lot, or for a long time. And the buying journey is like this, it's there's that famous Gartner thing. People go in and out of market and in and out of market and in and out of market because you've got a business need. Maybe you really realize what that business need and the business case is, but maybe you don't, and you kind of feel it, and now you don't. And then the budget comes and the budget goes, or the CMO comes and goes, or there's a new CFO. All of these things are happening all the time.
Yeah.
And people are poking their heads out, but they're learning about you all the time. And they may start their journey Q1, not do much in Q2, but Q3, they're back in it. If you start your understanding of how you got that opportunity in Q3, you're wrong by a lot. It's
because we only can look back 30 days, because otherwise sales will say, no, it's all ours,
Yeah. What was the journey like for you coming to an understanding that, I would imagine, I think in your position, it happens fast because you see a lot of them, and you have seen a lot of them. But what's that like for you? I mean, because I think most of us, at least back in the day, thought, oh, all right, leads, they come in, we can follow them, and then we'll see what happened. And,
Well, I think the hardest part is like when you actually try to map it out, like all those touches, like you go in and do discovery. One, it takes like, everyone does always the one slide for the QBR, and their marketing ops person, analytics person, takes 3 days to build it. So there's not an easy way to do it. But probably the big eye opener for me was the first one I did. And then I went to the QBR, and field marketing had totally gamed the system. Like it didn't take, these are sharp people. Like, oh, this is what we get credit for. And everyone just on a dime changed what they were doing. So you actually make your marketing worse, because you are forcing people to get the points they need. And I think I talked to you about this before. Like, it's all around budget. This is what it comes down to. So marketing is more diverse than any other department, like with all the different things we do. So you have everyone, budgets are divided by teams because teams are specialized. You have your events team, your digital team, your webinar team, your email team, and everyone does want to contribute. So everyone, to hold on to their budget, they do reporting around their channel. And that's really what, and with attribution, it's all around the channel, which is the least important part. Like you've done that with, people want content, like they don't go by the audience or the message. It was just a webinar. So the webinar gets all the credit. It's the channel. You should have that same, you might have a different message in every channel. You could have the same message. Like it just assumes email did it, or an event did it.
Delivery mechanism, right? Yeah. No, I mean, when I got to Serious Decisions, one of the guys there was in the marketing operations strategy service. He had just done a brief called Voodoo Attribution about the kind of
the pseudoscience.
I became a fan forever based on that, because it's it's exactly what it is. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. And we did so in our reporting. We've got last 2 years we've done this report on what channels and things buyers like. And it's the single most boring, least informational thing we've ever done. Because what it says is buyers do whatever you make available to them, and they think it's all okay. And nothing better and nothing more. All right. So
and I have to take whatever you've got anyhow. If I want to learn, if you have videos, I don't particularly like videos, but I'll take your video. Right. Like, I know. Yeah. But I think, on the whole channel thing, like if you own a channel, you do want to show how you're contributing. Like I think it comes from a good place. Sure. And I really want to show you how webinars, but also I won't get budget if I'm not showing that. So we just set up this natural conflict where people are going to double down on the channel and do that type of attribution. And you can only do attribution at the campaign level. You can't do it.
And that's the thing I learned from, again, my friends back at Serious Decisions was, look, you got to plan at this overall level over a long period of time with multiple programs and tactics and all of that, and then evaluate how the whole thing went. And you could probably look within it. Like if you have things that are designed to do specific jobs,
Yes.
Let's get people who've never been to our website to come to our website. Okay, great. And we have two things that we're trying to do that with. Which of those two things was better at doing that thing? Right.
But that's about efficiency. Like what is going to be most effective or efficient to do that? Because if you're spending a lot of money on SEM or advertising, like those are things you're spending money on. You want to find the best channels, but that's at a tactic level.
Yeah.
It's not ROI on a white paper or on a webinar.
Yeah. And we used to say, really, everything that you do should have a specific goal that you're trying to accomplish with it. And it can't be produce revenue. It's not, your white paper is not there to produce revenue. And if you are going to evaluate it based on producing revenue, you're going to never do any. And you know what, maybe you shouldn't, but pick any other.
Well, what you end up getting is in those QBRs, everyone takes credit for the one opportunity. So marketing's credit is through the roof.
Win. That's where the field marketing people win because they do the executive dinner right before everybody signs a deal.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So that one looks really good. Yeah. All right. So what advice would you give people who are in the midst of living with this lie in their organizations? And I think that's probably, 95% of B2B organizations still are living with the kinds of things that we're talking about. What should they do? Because the big thing that comes up when I talk about this with folks is, well, I have to measure something, and I can't be telling them that I'm not going to be held accountable. So, what do we do?
I think you just have to look at different levels of metrics. Like you do need those click-through rates at the tactical level, and then you want to look at probably like your campaigns or marketing objectives. Is this what acquisition? Was this for cross-sell? And start to really have a map where all that data ladders up to this is profitability, this is efficiency, this is revenue. Like how do you ladder up so each level shows what it's contributing? Because people want to show that they're contributing.
Right.
But Forrester had that. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, it just can't all be to the final ultimate goal that you want. Everybody wants to be tied to revenue, but it's just not. That's not how it works. There's steps along the way. Right? No.
Yeah.
So what were you going to say? Sorry.
I was going to say what was really nice. Forrester used to have that plan on a page, and it really did a nice job of here's the bigger level goal we're going towards. Here are the things we're doing. And then people can, if you take then from there, your campaign plans and so on, people can ladder up and see how they contribute to that bigger goal. It's just not everyone can't be taking that number. Like your ad did not produce a $6 million deal. All this stuff together, including sales, produced the $6 million deal.
That's right. And our data shows, between 100 and 300 or so interactions across a buying journey for a team. And that may be a pretty low estimate, that's from the buyers. That's what buyers say, but there may be, other things that they're not thinking about as well. So it's hundreds of interactions for every deal that you're going to apply. So, at first blush, just if you're trying to apply credit to 2, 3, 4, 5 things, come on. Why did Sally become a lawyer? Well, there probably wasn't that one moment in her life where she became a lawyer, right? There's years and years of things that happen to cause those things, and it's the same thing with deals.
What is, it's really funny. When I was thinking about this, when you were saying that do attribution, that line, you can't manage what you can't measure. Mm-hmm. Now, all these things. You know that quote, it's actually not Deming or Drucker. It's Ridgway or something. But they never add the rejoinder, which is even if it's pointless to measure or manage it, and even if it's to the detriment of the company. Like, someone pointed out, I'm like, oh, I didn't know there was a second part to that quote. Yes,
part two.
It was pointless. But I also think part of it comes about, I think managers start out, what do you want to measure? Like, what is it that you want? But then you end up measuring what you can. That's why if you go into a QBR, the digital metrics, there's tons of them, right down to the detail. And then the important stuff is like 3 or 4 because it's harder to measure.
Yeah.
So we just show the metrics that we can.
The tyranny of the easy.
Yes.
And
that's possible. A good line.
Well,
yeah.
You got me fired up there with the drunker or whatever. But it's true. I mean, I empathize with that. I mean, it's very difficult to make up new ways to measure complex things. And it's, I think everybody does just default to, okay, well, we can measure that there are leads coming in and whether they convert or not. But the thing you fail to measure there is that thing is that actually tied to the end results that we're trying to get to? And the answer has been no. It's been no all along. But, here we are.
Julie Schwartz, who's now retired, used to do a lot of research. When I first did one of the reporting webinars with her, I don't know, 2012, she brought up a slide. She was, Kathy, the first time I did could marketing measure what they really need to do was like 2000. And now, Kerry, it's 25 years later. We're still in the same spot. Like, that's pitiful. We have more tools than ever, and it's the same problem.
Yeah. Think about like the reason I'm on the, there are many reasons that I hate MQLs, but one of the biggest ones is just think, there have been tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of very smart people all over the world, people who have gotten millions and millions of dollars in venture funding and all of that stuff, Harvard MBAs, all of them. Everybody has been trying to get better at lead production and conversion, MQL conversion, and nobody's managed to do it. Everybody's operating off the same super simple, dumbass rules, methods. Maybe let's add one more call to the BDR. Like, that's got to tell you something, right? All of these people, all of this brain power applied, and nothing has changed, and nobody's gotten any better at it. Maybe there isn't a better. You know what I mean? That's my thing. It's like, I don't.
But no one wants to hear that. No one wants to hear that.
And then it goes.
That's like you get those things. Can you produce revenue this quarter for me? It's like,
right. I'm not going to say no, because then I'm going to get fired. But the answer is no. I can take actions and move things around, and it'll look like I'm trying really hard. And at the end of the day, I'm going to hope that something happens, but it probably won't. And I hope that you won't blame me for that, and that you realize that you asked me to do something that isn't a thing. For marketing to create pipeline in 1 quarter for something that costs $100,000. Okay, yeah, that's not a thing. It doesn't happen.
That is just one of the worst ones out of all the lies. And everyone still asks. I just want to know. I can't tell how many. Just tell me what's working and what's not. It's like,
yeah, having
where should I double down?
Product, good messaging, strong branding, and a long-term view of engaging your audience. That works.
Yeah.
Is that what you wanted to hear?
No, it's not what they want to hear.
I wanted a tip or a trick.
And if there was a shortcut, I would have figured it out by now, and I'd be much richer than I am.
Right. Somebody would have. Nobody has. So that's got to tell you something. Thanks again to Kathy Macchi for taking the time to reveal the lies that she learned from throughout her career. We hope that you've enjoyed the episode, and please do check out the rest of the videos in the series, along with all of the other content we have at sixthsense.com/science of B2B, and put hyphens between the 3 words science of B2B. Thanks, and see you in the next video.